And let me take you to a moment in my life, a real one, not polished, not perfect. I've been diagnosed with ADHD. Often I wake up in the morning before taking my meds and feel a strong sense of blah, and I'm overwhelmed. And in the meantime, I'm getting responses from folks like you who say, "Thanks so much for your work. You made me think of this a different way. My life is changing." Or, "Wow, you've got a Stuart Smalley type energy. I didn't even know who that character was. So take a look if you're curious." But often when I wake up, I'm overwhelmed, and my life is changing too. And man, I'm so grateful for this journey and for what I do. But in those moments when I wake up, blah. I often have lots of good ideas, but I don't know where to start. And I'm also often on to the next thing before what I need to get done is even completed. Yeah, your parts that say, "Wow, I'm lucky that you've been showing up consistently here." Take those in. And I'm going to keep showing up. But sometimes it's a struggle. Sometimes this happens when I need to stay home with a sick kid from school. And this only adds fuel to the fire. My inner critic is absolutely screaming, "You're falling behind. Everyone's going to see you can't handle all of this." And in case you didn't know, you're a fraud, by the way. You're going to be found out. And I chuckle because I love this part. Man, he's doing the best he can, but he'd be harsh sometimes. Yeah, he's not done yet. He goes on, "You should be a better parent, too. Doesn't your family mean anything to you?" And at the same time, a younger part of me, one that feels really small, pushed down, literally exiled and exhausted, particularly in these moments, just wants to crawl under the bed. Yeah, not in the bed, wants to crawl under the bed, then pull the covers over his head and hide from all of it. Another part panics, scrolling through my phone as if somehow checking something online or playing another round of one of the hundreds of games that I've downloaded and played once, or checking the news. It's going to magically make everything better. Spoiler alert, it doesn't. But these parts are trying hard, and just being aware of them is so helpful. And in these moments, it feels like I'm splintering, like I'm being pulled in 6 different directions at once, sometimes 66. My body gets tense, my breathing becomes shallow, and I can't even think straight. Here's the thing. I teach this stuff. I know about parts. I know about self-energy. My critic reminds me of that fact regularly. But in those moments, I'm flooded. And so that's a pretty good example of flooding in my own life. And what I try to do in those moments doesn't solve everything. It doesn't make the overwhelm fully disappear, or my kid's fever go away, or delete all those emails that make me anxious. But it does shift the energy inside me. I try to remember to pause. I physically stop what I'm doing. Step away from my computer, away from my phone. I sit down on my couch and I put my hands on my chest. And I start to name what I feel happening inside. Okay, I say to myself, here's the panicked part that thinks everything's falling apart. Here's the exhausted part that just wants to give up. Here's the judgmental part that's saying I'm failing. Just naming them helps. Not a lot, but a little. It's like turning on a light in a chaotic room and starting to see what's actually there. And then I breathe. Just 3 slow breaths. One with each part. I don't try to make them go away. I don't try to fix anything. I just breathe and acknowledge that they're there. Then I try something. I picture myself sitting in a circle with these parts, like we're all in a room together. The panicked one, the tired one, the harsh, critical one, and me with just that drop of self that helps me be the leader and to be self-led. And from that place, I sit with them. No fixing, no pushing them away, no judging them for being there, just being together. And from there, something softens. Not everything, but something. There's a bit more space inside, a bit more room to breathe. Enough self-energy comes forward for me to ask a simple question. What do you each need right now? The panicked part needs to know we're not going to drown. The tired part needs permission to rest, even just for 10 minutes. The critical part needs to know I'm taking it seriously, that I'm not just going to ignore the deadline. It's good to remind them who I am too, that they're the parts that make me up who I am, with the gifts they bring. They're not the burdens that they carry. And from that place of a little more clarity, a little more self, I can make a decision. I can reach out to my partner for help with our child, though I do have to spend some time with the part that finds it hard to be vulnerable first. I send one email about moving forward on a project. I take a 15-minute break to lie down. And sometimes some of my parts push for longer, but we negotiate. And then I come back to work with just a bit more capacity.